Hello and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with even more Pillars of Eternity. Quick disclaimer, I've recorded about 5 minutes from this game and moving between different areas in Defiance Bay, the game crashed. So I know a little what's going on, but what basically happened was we were going to go to the Crucible Keep and do the family heirloom armor quest. And then I thought on, just as I got to the door I realised maybe we should try and find a shop where you get your lineage checked out. And maybe if we can find the shop or the NPC that did that for, I think his name is Penhelm. Let's look at our journal. The Rogue Knight. Osric has asked me to retrieve a breastplate from Penhelm. He believes his rival might have forged a document from Dunrid Row verifying the purity of his soul. So yeah, I was looking for Dunrid Row and I didn't know where that was. Unless it's not in Defiance Bay. Yeah, I don't know where Dunrid Row is. It might be somewhere I've missed. But I went through Ondra's Gift, and that is kind of like... There's a lot of abandoned houses, and you've got the Salty Mass there, but I didn't see anything that stood out. Heritage Hill is closed off for some reason, and they said we must speak to someone in the Ducal Palace if we want to gain entrance there. And so I went back to Brackenbury, and I couldn't see anything in Dunrid Row there. So, and then between coming back from Brackenbury and here, First Fires, the game crashed. So, basically, that's what happened in a nutshell. So we'll just fast forward. So yeah, I decided just to go to the Crucible Keep anyway and speak to this Penhelm and see what we can do. Maybe we can find traces of the forgery in here. Justica Admar. You have a name, therefore you may have something to tell me. Looks like it's all on one level. Let's do a quick save. What business brings you to the keep? Let's have a speak. Let's have a speak with you. Yes, that's very controversial.
Howdy do.
Every day we get more from the Haverlands pouring into Defiance Bay. Keeps us busy on watch, it does. You look like you recently arrived yourself. Who are you? A soldier of the Crucible Knights. I'm proud of it. I help keep everything running in the keep so that Commander Cliver can focus on more important matters. Looking for something, or just knocking the dirt off your boots? What can you tell me about the Crucible Knights? We're the defenders of Defiance Bay. We're not exactly a formal knighthood, but don't tell Commander Cliver I said that. We were the first organised militia to oppose Adrian rule, and today we're the largest force in the city. Our soldiers undergo years of combat training and our officers are required to have their souls read by the critters out in Dunrid Row. What's this about Dunrid Row? Just a requirement of the Crucible Knights, so the higher ups know if there's nothing messy built into your soul's past. Keeping the ranks pure is fine. I just wish they were more careful in hiring their ciphers. What's wrong with their ciphers? He shifts his weight and glances at the empty halls. They're mostly Orlans. I'm sure they're talented enough, but you just can't trust them. Hostility's in their nature, and they've learned to hide it over the years. All I'm saying is they should at least be supervised by other folk. That's reasonable enough, isn't it? Seems like an extreme position to take. I'm just speaking the truth. Nowadays it seems to be the biggest crime of all. So what goes on here? This is the headquarters of the Crucible Knights, so it's where we store arms and armour, as well as many of our soldiers' bunk. Commander Clive is in the back making plans as usual. You'll find a forge at the west side of the building, along with our master smith Dunstan. There's also a shrine to the golem if you're ever the praying type. Thank you. So, there's an armourer here. Can we buy anything from him? Some camping supplies if we ever need them. Oh, here's Penhelm. Oh well, we know where he is. That's good. Ah, and here's Dunstan. Right. Let's do another quick save.
If this is about the breastplates, I already told Cleaver they won't be repaired till next week.
Oh, you have a voice actor. What is it that you do here?
I'm a forge master. I'm a master smith for the Crucible Knights. But the way I see it, I'm also keeping up with our old traditions. The first members of our order were smiths. Nowadays, most everyone's a professional soldier. I suppose it's to be expected, but I think it's important we keep up with our roots, too.
Something else on your mind? Can you tell me about the Knights?
We were all smiths back in Hodred's day, though I'm about the only one here who still gets his hands dirty. We're a fearsome fighting force, though these days I think Cleaver takes more pride in our parade formations.
Yeah, we've heard about this. He thinks himself a progressive man, but he's obsessed with soul lineages and connections to Deerwood's heroes of old. Over the Dunrid Row, who really knows about any of that though? So Dunrid Row could actually be a person. Not actually a place. I've been looking in all the wrong directions. So this is one of the bunks. If we wanted to, we could help ourselves, but it would be fraught with danger. Let's try it. I'm feeling sneaky.
Quiet.
I don't think anyone can see us right now.
I can do that.
I'm such a nice guy, but I can't. I've got sticky fingers.
A simple test. That's settled.
The way I see it, if they can't keep their stuff safe, then I should really liberate themselves.
Nice and quiet.
A simple test.
Thank you. Well, should keep things more safely locked up. Let's continue exploring. There's the patrolling Justicar. You do a great job. We have the Blacksmith Knights. Oh, hello.
Slow and silent.
What's this? An Edict of Arrest. Oh. Oh, we recognize that name. We recognize that name at all. The Crucible Knights are calling for the arrest of an Orlan man named Eorn. Apparently he's eluded capture thus far, though the Knights continue to hunt him. Yeah, we've met an Orlan in the Copper Lane tombs. Admor might want to hear of it. Oh, we could just tell him and go, oh, by the way, we found the guy you were looking for.
I can do that.
Some more goodies.
Laying low.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just tell Admor. We could go and find Eorn first and say, what did you do to... Actually, do I have the warrant? The edict calls for the arrest of Eorn, whose recent actions have led to the death of a Knight of the Crucible. It requests report any information to Justicar Admor. Okay. So, how did the murder take place? I have information about Eorn. Eorn, you said? Well, what's became of him? He's hiding down in the catacombs near Copper Lane. He should still be there. I see. I'll send a unit down to the catacombs to see him. What do you mean, see to him? Was that subtle? I suppose you're new here. Eorn got his little Orlan fingers into too many pies, if you ask me. A man of politics and with plenty of loud friends. Better all round this goes nice and quiet. And Eorn gets the end he deserves. But that's horrible. That's politics for you. You've done the Crucible Knights a real service tracking him down. Here, something for your troubles. You have our thanks, friend. We don't forget a favour. And we actually gained some reputation with the Knights of the Crucible, which is a separate faction compared to Defiance Bay. Interesting. I'm guessing this is the training room. Oh, hello. We have someone we can speak to here. We need to deal with Heritage Hill. Indeed we do. I've heard about the situation in a previous life. Just a car's gaze flicks over you briefly before returning to the initiates gathered in the training area. If this is about patrols, my noviates, I keep on failing to pronounce that word correctly. My novices, there you go, are already stretched to their limit. Between the refugee influx and the mess at Heritage Hill, I simply don't have any units to spare. I'm sorry, was there something else you need? You were talking about Heritage Hill. What isn't wrong is the real question. A whole district of walking, flesh-eating corpses. We sealed the area 2 months ago, just after I lost one of my finest commanders there. And yet this is the second guard rotation to disappear. There are already enough rumours about the place floating around to keep without my soldiers whispering about these disappearances. I'd just as soon abandon the district, but if those monsters should find a way out... I could look into it for you. After what I just told you, you want to go into Heritage Hill? I've lost trained soldiers there. Why should I let anyone in? What's the harm in letting me try? If you're so eager to rush to your death, I won't stop you. And if you're somehow able to put a stop to this, you got my permission to enter Heritage Hill. I'll send a word to the guards at the gate. What is it that you do here? I'm in charge of the Keep's novices. I'm responsible for their training and patrol assignments. They're good soldiers, and they've been quick to adapt to the new challenges. If there's nothing else, I must attend to my duties. Oh well. So yeah, I thought she, or the person that gave you access to Heritage Hill, was actually in the Ducal Palace, but it was actually this lady here. Oh, we have a shrine. Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. This is the symbol of Abion, a colossal smithing hammer imposed over a circular gear. It's smooth and bright with buffing oils. Ooh. I wonder if we can place something on the altar as an offering. It's kind of it's like a sarcophagus rumbling sound when we access it. Oh, let's scout near here actually. Shh. Is there anything of interest? No? Okay. I always like to occasionally scout to see if there's anything we can liberate, I suppose is the term. So this is probably Commander Cliver's room. Yeah. Let's quick save.
We just don't have the manpower.
Oh, your voice acted. Cool.
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
You're in charge of the Crucible Knights? Here in Defiance Bay, anyhow. The High Justice is the leader of our order, but he's currently stationed in Fleetbreaker Castle. My job is to oversee our forces in Defiance Bay and keep order for the Duke. Was there something else I can do for you? Well, why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Hailmar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
We have a few options here. Is there any way I can help? I do know how to handle myself. Always refreshing to meet someone who'd rather fix a problem than complain about it. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights. Warriors can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience or fear. Some agitator throws a rock at them, we don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my initiates have checked. Vienna lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. If you can go to the Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring her to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Once you've brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armour if you have need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find more capable smith in Defiance Bay. Okay. So, Forge Knights.
Steady does it.
Why does... Hopefully they've got like some sort of Asimov-free laws, which aren't flawed, I should say. I do a lot of reading in my spare time, and there was an argument about Asimov's free laws of robotics and how they're preternaturally flawed. Right, which way do we go now? Well, we might as well go through this door again. And make our way out of the Crucible Keep. In fact, I'm going to say before we leave, just in case we have another game crash, I don't want to have to repeat this area and pretend that I don't know what's going to be happening. Because I always like to play the game blind. So, yeah, it's been a short episode, but we managed to talk to a few people, get a few quests done. We've gained access to Heritage Hill and find out about these flesh-eating corpses. So, there's always that to look into as well. Oh, wait a minute. We haven't spoke to Penhelm. That's the whole reason that we came in here in the first place. Has he... Wait a minute. Okay. Let's do that then. Let's do another quick save. Speaking of side quests. The young novice's armour is recently shined and his hair is clean and neatly combed. It's hard to believe he's ever seen battle, or that the scarred antique breastplate he wears could possibly be his. Are you looking for something? How does one become a knight? We don't just take anyone. Our members share soul legacies with the very men and women who defended this land a century and a half ago. He shifts his weight and coughs. Anyhow, Commander Clive is responsible for initiation, but he rarely accepts foreigners. Hey, what are you trying to say? Was there anything else? Does the name Osric sound familiar? If you've got any self-respect, you won't associate with him, or with any of his new friends in that expedition hall for that matter. Scamps and delinquents, a lot of them. What's the story between you two? Osric has always held some controversial opinions, but he went overlooked for the longest time because of his family has such an extensive history of service in the Crucible Knights. He finally went too far. He had the gall to suggest that we had strayed too far from our roots, and that some of our officers were beginning to resemble Adria nobility. He would have us all wear wishbone and fight with forge hammers. I merely reported his statements. The history made the Knights what they are now. You can't just cast it aside. We've outgrown that past. He waves a shining gauntlet. Sometimes you just need to move on. Outgrown it like an old seal-skin coat? You adapt with the time, sure, but that's a bit naive. I don't see the problem. He splutters. People change. Organizations change. The Crucible Knights began as a militia of blacksmiths, but Dunstans were the only few officers who can wield a hammer these days. We're professional soldiers. Is that who you want defending the city? Besides, a novice has no business maligning his superiors. If the Knights obsessed over their past, they wouldn't have grown into the fighting force they are today. I quite agree. That's why Osric had no place here. I didn't really want to choose that option, but I was kind of rooted to go there anyway, which is a bit sad. Is that his breastplate you're wearing? It was. It became the property of the Crucible Knights when he was discharged. Now it's mine. It's not for sale if that's what you're wondering. Not every day you find armour that was used in the rebellion. He says that your aphrodisiac was a forgery. And what would he know about that? It's perfectly convenient for him to cast aspersions with his pedigree in the Knights. That's a lie, of course. Oh well. So we learned nothing about Dunrid Row. Penhelm doesn't appear to be keen on parting with Osric's armour. More leverage is required. He said I could find it somewhere here though. Let's save and try this lock then.
A simple test.
So paradox is not what I'm looking for. I would have thought it might have been one of these chests actually. But we've borrowed from them all already. Thick grime cakes the bottom of this tub. A towel hanging from the side gives off an awful stench. Where would... Oh, we've kind of explored everywhere apart from the chests up here. I'm guessing Commander Cliver might have them. Oh, Ada wants to talk to us as well. Maybe it's one of these. Let's have a look. Senior ranks. Oh, we can open this one. Another Edict of Arrest. Oh, we've already got this. This one we didn't have to steal.
I'll take a look.
Okay, we're out of sight, but this chest would require us to use some of our lockpicks.
A simple test.
A
A simple test.
Come on, and we've quick saved.
That's settled.
Some plate armor. I suppose we can take them.
I'll take a look.
What about this one? Oh, we can't open that one at all. We don't have the skill for it. We're quite close to actually leveling up, though. Mind, even if we level up, it'll still cost us most of our, if not all of our skill points to actually use it. To open the chest, I should say. Right. So have I missed anything? Don't think I have. I could be mistaken. Let's have one last run around. Camping supplies we don't need. We don't need a pair of dots. The blades are razor sharp here. Let's check this room again. What's this? Oh, hello. Okay, this is the one thing I didn't check then. Curran, the cipher duly appointed and employed by Dunrid Row, does hereby certify the novice A.M. Penhelm to be found to have a soul free of any subversive influences. So now we need to find this person called Curran. He works at Hadrit House in Brackenbury. I see, okay. So there's our next clue. Oh well, this video's went on a bit longer than I expected it would, but again, I will end this video here just in case the game crashes between screens. I'm hoping it was just a one-time thing that happened this morning while I was recording, but we shall see. So, this has been AnthWolf, and I hope you've all enjoyed, and I hope you all take care. When we come back, we'll speak to Ada, and then we'll head on our way to Brackenbury once again to find out if this this note proving the soul lineage is actually forgery or if it's actually real, because it could be real. You never know. So, I'll see you all in the next video of Pillars of Eternity. See you then. Bye bye now.